Bam Bam standing there. He just walked up there. I just wasn't quick enough to get the camera going. They're pretty much scattered out across that 3/4 piece. Calf way down there at the end. And when we get over here, if you can tell what side of the fence they're on, you know if it's a calf or a yearling. And 2 cows out of Dino's group over at this end anyway. Baler down there waiting to get cleaned up. Got to get the big compressor hooked up on my pickup and get it fired. Ty says, I can just use the leaf blower. And I said, keep in mind, kid, it set right down there and got 1/2 inch of rain on it. Leaf blower ain't going to do much. And the Traveler is in, so it's in a little early. 5:15, and it's all the way in. I was going to do a couple other things first. And one thing I got to do is move stuff in here again to get that. Here, I'll zoom in so you can see. Get that bin out of the way and see the hay that's on the other end stacked up. That's as high as I'm going to go. It ain't worth going higher. Well, I don't. Maybe we will. Who knows? But I'm toying with the idea of put the little squares we have at the moment in here. Got to put them somewhere anyway. And this is just about ready for it, really. Well, it is ready for it, not just about. All I got to do is move that bin out of the way, and there's about 5 bales, 6 bales, something like that in there. They got to move. Most of them are broken. Got to get cleaned up anyway. And unhook my gate from there so that that door will open the rest of the way. Then I can get in there with the bale loader and fill that up. That's kind of what I'm thinking this morning anyway. Not that I want to move those broken bales, but it's got to get done. Kind of like irrigation's got to get done too. And the little Traveler is literally right here at the bottom of the hill. It did. I think it took it 2 days to do it because the way it worked out. Just a short run off the end of the pipe that comes here to the lane. And the next strip is it goes toward the bridge, but until that tractor and baler are out of there, I can't run any line across there. So, holy moly. I heard Becky was cleaning up a little in here. I mean, it's far from done, but holy crap, it's a lot better than it was. Something missing. That cart raises and lowers. Ah, there's where she shoved it. Of course, she shoved everything in here, so if I need to get to the grinder, I can't. Yeah. Oh, this mess is because we are out of room in that cabinet for manuals. So, now there's a bunch of them in there. I told Ty, you know, God, this stuff was all someplace else before it went in there. Find a place for it. Little everything there. Extension cords are a good thing. You can use them for lots of stuff. There's even, yeah, that's an independent, I think. Yeah, that's for a sump pump. It's a switch that plugs in line. Well, works on its own. And yeah, more electrical shit there. Not that I get anything in here, but wow. Floor's pretty clean. Okay, I'm still working on trying to get something done. Gotta find places for these things too. Because that needs to stay in here. And I told her it wasn't going to stick that well. And that actually goes back in the service truck. The gauges, I'm not sure if I want to put those in the service truck or leave them in here, but out of room. Oh yeah. That stuff, keep stuff. Yes, I know it's an old catalog, but it still has all your filters and conversions. It's catalogs and literature. That's the seat that goes on Odie. Haven't touched that yet. That might be a thing to do so we can use it. better. All that literature was in this cabinet, which we used to keep all the books in this one until we outgrew it. Yeah. Really, what probably should do is this one and the other big one, but it's the way it is. And I don't think anybody's said anything for a while. This space over here, this was dug out years ago to add on to the shop. And then it sloughed in and it got dug out again and we put the wall up. And the plan was the drill presses and the lathe would go out here, make more room in there, and make an office in here, which would be the best place for all those frickin' books. But, you know, it just takes time and money and obviously another dig out and a lot of concrete. I don't see it happening. Something else that Dad and I talked about at one point was where the big baler and the blue truck go in over there, raising that section of roof and extending out the back so we'd have a deeper place, get rid of the pole in the middle. But all the power's over here. I mean, we got power over there, but what do we got? A 50 amp run from here to the barn. And I think we might be a 50 running that way, but that's not enough to run anything by the time it gets there. So anyway, and I'm still trying to find something for this. Anybody got any great ideas on electric fans? I mean, I'm looking at kind of maybe Flexolite because I know that's a very good name brand. I think that's what's on the bale loader, but don't quote me. I know that's, and I'm 99% sure that's what we ended up putting on the combine for the AC condenser. Or, yeah, whichever one it is. Evaporator condenser. I never remember. But anyway, I got room to put a 24-inch fan in there. I can't find a 24-inch fan. Biggest thing I've been able to find is a 16 or a 17-inch. Which, everything I've seen says, yeah, if you don't mount it direct to the radiator and you use a shroud, you get better airflow, which only makes sense. That's why they put shrouds on shit. I got plenty of room in there when I get that fan out of the way to make a piece for that shroud and just have a nice little setup. And one thing about electric fan, I know not all will do it, but most should. I can put it on a switch so I can reverse it, because we get so much chaff on shit. Worst thing is that weight. They extended that weight up when they made it, and it's too high. See the chips? Yep. So as soon as there's chaff on that, those rest on it and won't come all the way down. Anyway, this will get completely covered, as in at least that much. That's actually probably what came off of it before I pulled it ahead. And if you can reverse it, you can blow it back and knock it right off. You don't have to shut the machine off and come back and knock it off. That's my plan anyway. We'll see what happens. I gotta make something happen pretty soon. And by the way, yes, there's more weight there. Get you a better look at it. Inch, 2 pieces of 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches. Those are about 18-inch square. The reason they are there is because that balances out for the fuel tank. This tire would spin all the time on the hills. You couldn't keep it from spinning. And on the 1048 we had, it's got a bigger area, a little wider through here. That is all sealed in and filled full of what they call shot, which is like when they punch washers, the center pieces and the little corner pieces, and it's just scrap metal. And that's factory that way. So we had to put some weight on it. And no, I haven't got the irrigation going yet. I'm going to wait another hour or two, because if it gets in, I don't want it in at 3 o'clock in the morning. I just haven't found the sweet spot yet to make it actually be 24 hours. So I just got to go move some stuff and get something going. Finishing up what I didn't do last night. This is my second set. That one's broken. It's got one twine on it. I put one set in for 617 and the babies. It's in the feeder outside. But it had two brokens. Actually, two with no twine at all, and one with one twine and one with two twine. So the nice thing about the squeeze, if you get a hold of it right, broken bales really aren't an issue. I thought I was going to lose at least the end off those others, but I didn't. Made it all the way up there to the feeder, and that's done. And looks like I got to straighten the plastic around, and I'll kick that chaff around that's in here just to, so there's no humps. And I know I can get one more high there with the bale loader. The issue is, as you can see, this barn's just not high enough. This was made when we had a pull-type bale wagon, and we stacked in the field and then hauled it in trucks. And originally, there's a frickin' rat just came out of a hole right there. Little bastards. Originally, we laid pallets down here. We had plastic underneath and then pallets. And talk about a pain in the ass. And of course, the roof's low enough. The top two tiers had to come off the truck first and get drug all the way to the back. Then we could back the truck in and finish unloading it. And that's when we used to hand stack up against the rafters. Now it's all with machines, except for up there. And yeah, that's some ugly straw bales. Those were bottoms out of the other barn, which we still need to move a bunch of straw up here. But you know, when it doesn't take long and it's 90 degrees out, that's not a place you want to be hand stacking anyway. But that is something we still have to get done. Get some of them out of the way. That's one reason I'm probably going to, well, I think it'll all fit in here too, actually. It's one reason I'm going to put that hay in here, because I want the straw out of the way before I put hay in the other barn. And, oh, what is it? This barn holds at least 600 bales. Something like that. And usually leave where I'm setting open. Either park a baler here, or anymore it's tote bins. Becky do today.
I was driving to do some notary work for a friend of ours, and a deer jumped out in front of me, and I killed the deer and wrecked my car.
Everything's fine other than
she jumped
plastic.
right out in front of us. She even took my license plate off.
It was underneath the grass in the ditch.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I don't know. Can we call?
It's in the ditch.
Can we call what? To see if they can use her for me. Can
So
they
was her
salvage
license plate.
Well, do you know what part?
Kind of fun one-handed.
Yeah. It's too far
Mama was just playing with us here. And Daddy's over there on the bridge. They were both like 40 feet apart doing the same thing, going, come get me, come get me.
Yeah, but I think it's funny though. You can do it to me? Hey, Mom. Hey, Mama. Yeah?
Ty thinks this might be one of the babies that she held before. I don't know how soon they grow up and have their own kids, but this one gets really close to her.
See, I'm not hurting them.
And we brought that thing down. I figured if it was out of the yard, it'd make it easier for the feed truck in the morning because the trailer's in the way anyway. And all the hay's out of the way so he can pull around and back into there. And it needs to get cleaned up anyway. Get blown off good. So I can see what we got to take apart to get rid of parts that we're going to throw away. And I'm still looking for an electric fan.
So pathetic, you know. You see that half? She's the whole entire half wingy thing of you.
We don't have fun with these, do we?
I know that we're not going to hurt them though.
Yeah. We keep an eye out for them.
Yes. Go back over there.
Well, apparently there's more crawdads in the creek than we thought, too.
Oh, how many did we get?
A friend of mine who actually grew up straight back there on the other road, he used to come through fishing and crawdad all the time when he was a kid. He'd find a message on the phone or a note sitting on the door. Hey, it's Wade. I'm cruising through. Don't shoot me. Well, he called the other day and wanted to know if he'd come do some crawdad. So they did, and I told him we haven't seen hardly any.
And normally we see a bunch.
And I said, if there ain't many there, don't take them. And he says he only goes for the ones that are big enough that actually got, a decent meal out of claw meat. He remembers the big ones we used to get that were, a foot long or so. But he said they got about 30 of them.
Jesus.
And I don't know that they went that way very far. I'm not sure if they went over to the pump side or not. But they started right here and then they went that way. I know they were by the cedar tree and then they went on back.
Wally, if I would have gotten my camera out though.
They left a bucket this side of the cedar tree, just a white 5-gallon
and all
bucket.
the heifers were underneath in the shade. And Wally comes from over here just roaring. And he's clawing his way over there and I scream at him. He goes, oh shit. Mom yelled.
He was talking like crazy. So anyway, I don't know how much more we're going to do today, but hey, feed truck can show up now and it's way too hot to even think about trying to blow that shit off.
Hell no.
I don't know what it is, but they're talking. National Weather Service finally said, hey, you're going to be 92 to 102 all freaking week.
Oh, that
And
makes
I'm
me really want to do
pretty
that.
sure we're past 90, so it may be not a lot of getting done this week. Because, AC don't work once you get past about 95. It don't do much, so.
Put the bright side, though. My tractor blows.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. She's never blown that cold.
I don't know. I hit it right, I guess. I couldn't get the valve open on the high side, so I just charged it by the low side. When she said it was cold, I said, that's good enough for me.
And I was getting cold.
So hopefully it's actually blowing good and cold. And at least one of the drains is working now, which...
Both were. I got pissed on.
Well, yeah, but if you got pissed on, that means the drain wasn't working. Dork.
I got pissed on both sides. Both sides were dripping.
The left drain was working outside, though.
Oh, well, both of them were dripping on the inside.
Freaking bugs.
Maybe you got enough air blows
Oh.
that it finally...
Anyway, that tractor started, the white case, it started its life at Portland Meadows horse race track. And the sand for the track came from the same point in the Columbia River that the city of Portland dumped all the ash from Mount St. Helens. So it wasn't just sand. That stuff's like Portland cement. And, it's a little smaller cab, but same cab as that one. All the air's upstairs. We took a full 5-gallon bucket full of the shit out of the upstairs. We had another full 5-gallon bucket full of it out of the inside of the cab. It was nasty. Had to put a new blower fan in it, complete fan, because it was set in concrete. You couldn't do anything with it.
I'll never forget the fan blowing out of the top of that.
Oh, yeah, Ty's talking about something else. The engine radiator fan on the 2294 when she was about 3 years old. She's sitting in my lap and I'm baling small bales of straw, and all of a sudden I hear this thump, and there's a hole in the top of the hood. So I know a lot of you have seen that hole. I've talked about it before. Blade cut loose. I told her, I said,
between your lap on the seat.
The brain thinks fast. There's about a 3/16 layer of fiberglass on top. There's maybe a 16th inch of metal, and there's an 1/8 inch piece of plastic. The only thing between your head and the outside world. And I just held her under me, and I said, if I quit talking to you, grab my phone and call your mother. And I waited up probably like 5 minutes, and it's like, well, I'm still alive. Haven't seen it. Got out and I looked. It was exactly the same distance from the hole in the hood, which was about where the step is on this one. It was the exact same distance from the hole in the hood to the middle of the seat, but it was ahead of the tractor. Talk about somebody watching over you. Because it could have gone either way. You know, they flip on the way out and they go wherever. Anyway, this is probably a half-hour video by now with all my gabbing today.
I hear ya.
And with the killdeer's gabbing. So, anyway, hope y'all had a great Sunday. The wind's picking up, which means it's just doing nothing but getting hotter. It feels good when you got a little sweat on you. But you can tell it's getting warmer, and east wind in the summer will get 10, 15, 20 degrees warmer. So, I'm going to go find a cool spot. It was too slow. You already got it eaten. Little turd buckets. It's still nice and hot out. But hey, look, nothing's here except for a pile of chaff up there yet. And I gotta move the bike. Bins are ready and waiting for tomorrow, but it'd be nice to know when they're gonna show. Not like I don't have anything else to do. Yeah, I know. Tires will be here tomorrow. You might be the one filling totes. Nope, won't be the first time. Probably won't be the last. But, yeah, 3 ton of the feed that's usually in the bin out there should fit in the 3 of these and probably fill a little water drop about halfway up. If that ain't enough, those 200-gallon troughs are still out and back. And I left plenty of room for these in the back barn for a while. Get some out of the way here anyway. And that thing actually is doing pretty good this year. Running a little better. God knows why. I've actually been thinking about trying a new carburetor on it. Because I can't tell you what the engine is. It's a small block Chevy, 305, 350, we don't know. Transmission's a turbo 400 out of a 72 Le Mans. So, I know the engine is pre-80s. And original carburetor, as far as I know. I've also thought about maybe updating the ignition. But it's got HEI in it. That's pretty good. So I only had to restart it like 2 or 3 times. And it's been moving okay. Not great, but okay. So, not arguing. Anyway. It's time. You've seen enough video by now. So thank you for watching. Oh yeah, I got a little straw put up there, and there's 2 sets of that hay up there. And those are the really soft bales. Some of those in the first stack, especially toward the bottom, were very, very soft and hard to handle because the shit was so damn dry. That's another story. Anyway, hope you all had a great Sunday. Hope everybody has a great Monday. We'll see what tomorrow brings.